Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto? That's all I needed to hear to pique my interest in The Little Things. This 90s neo-noir thriller stars the three of them in a story about Deputy Sheriff Joe, Deke, Deacon, and Sergeant Jim Baxter as they search for a serial killer in Los Angeles. As they continue to investigate, parts of Deke's past start to unravel. Now, this is directed by John Lee Hancock, who also wrote the screenplay and will debut on HBO Max and in theaters on January 29th. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Leo Rydell, and consider hitting that subscribe button if you like videos on the latest movies, TV shows with a sprinkle of anime and gaming. Let's dive into the review for The Little Things, you guys. Now, this movie is pretty good. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna dive into what works first. You guys know, if you're a regular on this channel, how it works. What works is Denzel Washington and Rami Malek. I think they play off of each other very well in this movie. You've got the older, more experienced deputy returning to his past work with a younger officer, and their dynamic slightly reminds you of Somerset and Mills from Seven. Not quite the same relationship by any means, but at the same time, there are little similarities there that you can pick up on, especially if you're a big fan of Seven. The two of them just have really good chemistry on screen together. As the movie goes on, their relationship begins to grow, and you begin to start really liking them on screen together. And even when Jared Leto's character becomes involved, you also like his dynamic with them as well. Two really strong actors in Rami Malek and Denzel Washington. You know, a younger, less experienced actor and an older, more experienced actor. And it's crazy how they actually play these roles in the movie. Now, this movie is set in the 90s, and it really does feel like it. Nobody's whipping out cell phones or anything like that regularly, so it does really put you in the time period. Another thing that really works is just the mysterious and mystery of this movie. There is little breadcrumbs throughout the movie that lead you up to the conclusion, but I will say you're not really gonna get it. Like, if you do, I understand there are some clues throughout the movie that can lead you to that conclusion, but to be honest, I didn't see it coming. It wasn't that predictable, and I like that they dropped little hints here and there, little things that you can pay attention to make things all make sense when the reveal at the end happens. But again, not gonna spoil, this is a spoiler-free review, so we're gonna stay within the lines of that. But let me tell you guys, there are just these tiny hints throughout the movie that you're just like, huh, that is so suspicious, and it's so mysterious. The music blends in well with that mysterious mood as well. Really like that. Now, in addition to that, it's got a very curiosity-invoking story, and it's not easy to solve. So I like that it's not predictable, and it's not easy to actually get the mystery. You actually have to pay attention to this movie, and you actually have to really look into the deeper meanings of some things. So I like that about the movie, and it's not easy to solve the mystery, but it is easy to follow the actors and really enjoy the interactions they have. Now, there are a few things that I think don't work, and one of them is I feel like the actors could have elevated a bit more. I think that we stayed a little bit flatlined throughout most of the movie, and I know one's a cop, one's a deputy, former cop, but I would like to get a little bit more emotional elevation. There were several scenes where Denzel elevated, and I was like, okay, I love this. Would have loved a little bit more of that. Jared Leto plays such a weird character, and I like his acting, but again, another actor that I just feel like could have elevated emotionally in a couple of scenes. You know, in Seven, towards the end, and maybe I'm just spoiled by that movie, but towards the end, when, of course, Mills, aka Brad Pitt, is at the end and he elevates and he's like, oh my god, what's in the box? What's in the box? That tension there. I wanted some more moments like that, and I will say, this is not an action movie, and this is not going into my what doesn't work, but this is not an action movie. If you're looking for guns blazing, if you're looking for a lot of chase scenes and things like that, like guns, explosions, that's not what this is. So I will say this is very much a mystery at its heart and at its core. So maybe I shouldn't have expected too much elevating, but maybe a lot more detective work. Another thing that didn't quite work is that it could feel a little drawn out at times. Part of me almost wonders if this could have worked as a 4-episode miniseries where we picked up on clues and things, and then once it got to that 4th episode, things could ramp up even more, and there would be time for it to ramp up. But there were just a couple moments during the movie where it kind of dragged along a little bit, and maybe took me out of it, and you don't want to be in that kind of mood with a mystery. You want to be nailed in, curiosity invoked the whole time, and while there were some really strong scenes that had you that way, some of them just weren't quite as captivating as they could have been. Now, for the little things, I'm going a 7 out of 10. I think it was good. There was a lot of curiosity-invoking elements in the movie. Rami Malek and Denzel Washington played off of each other very well, but there's not too much thrilling or excitement in the movie, and there's not a lot of elevation in the actors, which is something I really would have looked forward to in this movie. Especially you got Denzel on one side and Rami on the other. Like, you want some emotion, you want some like elevation, you want that, just that anger, that sadness, that turmoil. You want a little bit more of that, especially from these powerhouse actors on screen. So I would have liked just a little bit more of that, but all in all, a fun movie to get through, captivating, very mysterious, and not very predictable. So you guys let me know, are you going to watch The Little Things? I would definitely suggest it, especially if you're into mystery, but don't go into it expecting action-packed scenes with explosions, jumping off buildings. That's not this movie, but if you like a mystery, definitely check it out, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time on Geekly Goods.